Hello, this is Dr. Jeff Tarrant, Director of the Neuro Meditation Institute. And I wanted to put this short video together really to just reach out and encourage everybody out there to really use the practices that we know to stay calm and stay grounded during these difficult times. Everything feels like it's turned upside down right now in terms of our normal lifestyle. Things that we count on are canceled. Everyone is feeling afraid and concerned for themselves and for their loved ones. It's really a time of heightened stress and anxiety. And this is just what it is right now. And so we really need to take extra steps and be extra thoughtful about how to manage this, because as probably all of you know, stress and anxiety are really one of the primary issues related to both physical and mental health conditions. So we really need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves during this time. So there's a few things that I wanted to just kind of bring up. One, if you are a meditator, or if you've, been doing some meditation, this right now, what's going on right now in our culture, this is what you practice for. This is like the Olympics, right? Learning to observe things without getting attached to them, to be objective in your assessment, learning to watch your own reactions, looking at the ways that perhaps you get pulled into fear or worry that's not realistic, looking at ways that we push and trying to fight against what's actually happening rather than simply being present with it and observing. There's a lot that can be said for being calm in times like this, to have a balanced view and a balanced approach. It's very challenging, but this is why we practice. So partially, really just encouraging all of you out there to use the skills that you have. Use the things that you've been practicing. If you are not a meditator and you haven't been working on those kinds of skills, it's not too late. I can pretty much guarantee there'll be another crisis after this one's over. So it's always a good time to begin. And in fact, that's one of the things with this kind of practice, right, is begin again and again and again. And so there's a few pieces of meditation practice that can be really beneficial when working to manage stress and anxiety. And really it has to do with how you are influencing the brain, how those practices influence the brain. And just to give a couple of quick examples, when you engage in practices like mindfulness, where you are stepping away from the thoughts and the feelings and observing them more objectively, this quiets down the same parts of the brain that are engaged in the stress response. So literally, it's a counterbalance. When you engage in practices that quiet the mind down, so traditionally it would be practices like transcendental meditation or Zen, but there can be a lot of different approaches. Those actually serve to inhibit all of those parts of the brain that are related to you talking to yourself about yourself. So all the things we worry about, all the things that we ruminate about, those are connected to how we view ourselves and how we view our connection to the world. And certain styles of meditation inhibit that. So it's no wonder that meditation can be so beneficial. Now, some other things that you might consider that aren't directly meditation practices, but can be really beneficial for downshifting the nervous system, include simply remembering to breathe. If you notice your breathing throughout the day, which that can be a meditation, being aware of your breathing and inviting the breath to be just a little bit slower, a little bit quieter, a little bit more relaxed, shifting it down into the belly, inviting it to feel natural and easy and quiet. That by itself can go a long way. We know that when the breathing is shallow or rapid, it sends a signal to the rest of the body that you are in a crisis mode, and the rest of your body will behave accordingly. If you breathe in a relaxed, quiet, gentle way, that sends a signal to the rest of your body and your brain that you're okay, that you're safe, and it will literally settle down your nervous system. You can do other things that can be very helpful as well. Managing your social media content, and actually even other content like the news. So it's not that we don't want people to be informed. Certainly we want to be informed, but if you really examine how much you look at the news or Facebook or whatever social media you're engaged in, the reality is that most of that is not providing new information. A lot of it is people's opinions, and most of it is just reiterating what you already know. And really, that doesn't really help us. In general, what it tends to do is aggravate those areas where we're already feeling upset. So being mindful, again, we can sort of bring a little bit of a meditation practice into our engagement with social media by being aware of what we're doing, how we're engaging with it, what impact it has on us, how it affects the way that we think and feel, and being thoughtful about that. It's okay to take breaks. In fact, it's recommended to take breaks, that we're not constantly, grasping after more information. More information is not always better. So that's the second idea. And the third one is just finding something that is soothing and quieting. So this could be something as simple as spending a little bit more time out in nature. Could be something as simple as listening to music that has a quieting effect. So again, part of this is still going to the mindfulness practice, in that, choosing practices, choosing behaviors that are going to have a calming and quieting effect on your nervous system. That means you have to be aware of what those things are. So, anyway, I just wanted to reach out and encourage all of you, because we have these skills. And even if you don't have the skills now, there's a lot of good, positive, helpful information out there. And so this is a great time to explore some of that and begin practicing. And what I would strongly encourage is that if it's difficult to practice these things right now, while we're feeling particularly stressed and anxious, to begin working with these practices when this crisis is over, so that you're building up those muscles, because this really is a skill. And so the more you practice, the better you get. And so the next crisis that comes along, you'll be better prepared to manage yourself and be able to help those around you. All right, take care. We'll talk to you soon.